everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 712. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S, aka Seamus Osaltome. Aye.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
I'm Mako-chan.
And I'm Barry Mellon.
I mean, honestly, if I look at my lineage correctly, I'm more Scottish than Irish, so, you know, that's where that plays into. Everybody else on the show is Irish as F, so, you know, it's on them. So.
I'm Irish Scottish, but you know, I think that's kind of a mix of things. But also, happy St. Patrick's Day, chat. Get pinched, noobs.
Oh, okay there, Barry McMellon.
Yeah, really.
This day isn't doing anything for me. I'm Italian.
I mean, you know, hey. I mean, you do what you gotta do. But actually, it's Mako Okino, who's the real Irish person on here. I mean, her corned beef and cabbage is delish. And I'm long overdue for some.
Yeah, as I was packing up my leftovers, I'm like, oh my god, I get to keep my leftovers this year.
Let me guess, you had to dodge your mom's shillelagh to get some.
No, my mom buys 4 corned beefs a year just to ensure that everybody has leftovers except for her. Not that she doesn't have
nice.
leftovers, but if she didn't get all 4 of them, she would be the only one with leftovers. Which she says she's fine with. I would like some leftovers.
I mean, I would too. I think the last time I had corned beef and cabbage, I was in Queens with some friends celebrating St. Patrick's Day in an Irish bar. And for those of you who may not know, there are some local Irish pubs and bars for St. Patrick's Day, the ones that have a kitchen. They will make trays of corned beef and cabbage for people to just nosh and enjoy. Because, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with, I'm just saying, a pint of Guinness and a small bowl of corned beef and cabbage. Just saying.
So, which song did you hear more? Did you hear Jump Around more, or I'm Shipping Up to Boston?
Is I'm Shipping Up to Boston Dropkick Murphys?
Yep.
Yeah, it depends.
They're very Irish.
I know. I actually liked Dropkick Murphys. I have not listened to the entire discography, but the songs I have heard, I do like. So, and Serenity 041088 says, "Don't get me started on Guinness." Look, Guinness has a brewery in Maryland. I mean, that's where they do their blonde lager, but I still want to take a tour of it. You know? So, anywho, enough about that. Let's get the show on the road, shall we? Yeah. Like I said, this is episode 712. We are live tonight, week of March 17th, 2026, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And before I continue going to my spiel here, I already know the answers, but I'm just curious, how is everybody doing tonight?
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. Hi.
Fair enough. So it's been one of those. So you can always find us on Twitch TV/Anime Jam Sessions, where we stream our show. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And they're also on Twitch. You can find them at Twitch TV/VogNetwork. They kick things off Sunday nights at 8 with the Bobby Blackwolf Show, followed by 9 p.m. for Orange Lounge Radio 2DX, where I'm a co-host, so definitely check that out. It's a little different from the original OLR, but I think you'll still enjoy it, though. And then here we come as awesome affiliates wrapping up the VOG Network broadcasting schedule with Tuesdays at 9. And please come hang out in our Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has a channel, so come through, hang out, and have a good time with us. So, and Nemesis47 says, better than my work playing a crappy cover of Sweet Caroline called Sweet Sandwich Time.
Wah, wah, wah.
I'm
That's
trying
almost
to.
as bad as hearing it in a friggin' prescription medication commercial. Jesus.
I mean, the part where you go bump, bump, bump. I'm trying to think of what meat would fit in there instead, you know? Maybe ham and salami, you know? I don't know.
That's what she said.
Hey-o!
Anyway.
Ugh.
You see what I see? I see the podcasting train. It just derailed.
It was to sell Hellman's mayo. That's crazy.
Sweet sandwich time, Hellman's mayo. I can kind of see that. I mean, one of the local stations here, Z100, well, not really local per se, they used to play a parody of Red Solo Cup, and it was called Green Solo Cup. What a drunken leprechaun.
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm going to have to go looking on YouTube later and see if somebody actually uploaded it, you know. So, anywho, now that we got that up and going, let's kick things over to Ari. So, Ari, how was your weekend day?
Well, I don't have to work this week because I'm on vacation.
Yay.
And, well, it's just been, work stuff this past weekend, and, it hasn't been all that exciting. I mean, I spent yesterday just lounging about, playing through Pokemon Fire Red and Scarlet at different times.
That's cool.
But, yeah, and today was spent doing a lot of laundry that I've been, quote unquote neglecting. But my washing machine isn't that big, so a simple, overly filled basket turned into like 3 or 4 loads.
Gotcha.
So I'm just, getting ready for Zenkai-Con.
Cool. Awesome. Mako-chan, how was your weekend day?
I have survived.
That's all we can ask for sometimes.
I know that feel. All right. Barry, how was your weekend day and month?
It's been, I had a good day. I had my tea time friend over into the Dreamy, and so I made little Bellini style crepes, little tiny crepes, and we had fruit and crepes, and it was delicious. And then, the rest of the month has been kind of quiet. I've been taking a break from streaming, and so it's just been kind of quiet here in the Dreaming, but I'm getting things organized and stuff like that. So hopefully this next year, it'll be a little bit nicer. But yeah, it's definitely just been pretty quiet on my end.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't really have any big plans for this next month or anything. But definitely relate to Mako on the existence is resistance side. So
No, I get that. So my weekend day's been the usual. I mean, things have been changing at work, and I'm just like, ugh, free time. What is this? But anywho, I got it into my head to say, you know what, self? 85% of your laundry is done. Usually, I do laundry like every 2 weeks, and depending on that off week, I have a con if I will do laundry or not. And depending on, like, if it's a day before, I'll do whatever, see how that turns out. But I did my laundry, and I have plenty of clothes, so I said, you know what? I'm going to pack for Zenkai. So Saturday, I pulled out my big suitcase, basically pulled out a bulk of the stuff in my closet that's been in there for over a year and a half. I repackaged all of my cosplays into reusable bags. Shopping bags. One of them has all of my cosplay like accessories and stuff in a box in a bag, so everything is nice and neat. And the way it's set up now is when I'm done, I can come back from the con, unpack everything, basically put the rest of my cosplays, which will probably fit like 2 more bags, in the closet and it'll fit just fine. And in the front, I can just roll my suitcase right on in. And thankfully, with my camera bag, I could put it over in the corner on top of some other stuff, which is good and is fully organized for the most part. So I'm good with that. Some last minute stuff is coming. Actually, all of my last minute stuff I've ordered arrived today. The only thing I have to do tomorrow is pack my Switch, my Surface, and a couple of other things, and that's it. I actually thought about bringing my mechanical keyboard, but then I realized I don't really do a lot of typing and stuff on my Surface to justify that, so it's sitting here. I actually have a smaller keyboard I would take to when I'm covering a different office because I prefer typing on something like that. So that's what that is. So that's basically is it. I gotta do that. Take care of my meds, put that together. One thing I think I mentioned this, I'm not sure, but for Mario Day, I ordered Mario and Luigi Brothership, or as everybody's been calling it, Mario Luigi Brotherhood. So Full Metal Italian, huh? But Ari, I think you probably know where I was going with that other way. If not, I'll tell you off air, but
I have an idea.
It depends on if you're a New York Italian or a Philly Italian, I think it would work.
What do you think I am?
Well, you know what I mean, like the different slang terms, So I end up ordering Brothership. It was on sale for like $40 because I'm at that point where unless I really want it, and by really saying really 10 times, I'm not paying retail for video games anymore. Like right now, Borderlands 4 is down 20%. And I'm hoping by the time me and Kuro Hikari-chan, by the time we finish Borderlands 3 again and run through Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, there's another price drop before I could pull the trigger and be like, oh, we're going to play and have a good time. So, I ordered the game and it showed up. Now, here's the funny thing. As you know, Amazon, when they deliver stuff, they send you a picture of when it's delivered, unless what you order from Amazon is coming through the postal service. No. Now FedEx and DHL and UPS are starting to do that, but it's like you got to dig through the tracking for it to pop up. So I get a notification that my package has arrived, and I see the picture, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, that doesn't look like my porch. That really does not look like my porch.
Did they deliver it to the wrong address?
Yeah, they delivered it to the house next door.
Well, at least it was just, over there and not like on a different part of the, block or whatnot.
But that's just it. When I got home, and after I think last week's show, I went to go back and double check, the package was out on the porch.
And somebody took it then. Yeah.
So I contacted Best Buy. I think I went through their automated or whatever, and I had another one shipped to me, and I got it. So this morning, as I happened to leave, I saw this on the chair. There is a chair on our...
Is that the original one?
Yes, it is. Now, we have a chair outside on the porch where some packages are delivered, but I usually leave packages for that side of the house. So what I'm going to do is I am going to contact Best Buy, tell them somebody delivered the package, and I knew it wasn't delayed because, as you can see, somebody already opened it. So I'm going to take it back and be like, this was an extra. I want to return it. I'm supposed to be saying, nah, I don't want this game anymore. I'm not doing that. I think this is like the second time a package from this happened with Best Buy. I had ordered Persona 5 for Michelle Knott, and they said it was delivered, but it wasn't. And it came delivered the next day. I'm just like, what the heck? Bonzable6 says, my family shares Amazon Prime, but live in different places, and I can see when other relatives get their packages. I think me and Mako share my Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Yeah, but she has her own profile, so I can't see, stuff that she orders. So there is that. The only thing I worry about is like, why is there an extra charge on my Amazon card? And then I look at Mako and I see all the extra Deadpool Funko Pops. I'm just like, well, I know where that $60 went. No, but seriously, it is separate profiles, so you can't really, put, unless you ask for it. But that's neither here nor there. So, anywho, there is that. And I actually
now.
Yes. All right. So, for those of you who now see Mako-chan's light is on, so this is what happened. A while back, she was having problems with the computer. It was saying it was taking a half hour to boot. And I'm like, it's an SSD. There's no way it takes a half hour for it to boot up. So I went in, wiped the drive, did a fresh setup. I went out and got a 1 terabyte NVMe drive. I put it in the machine. That machine locked up. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to wipe the drive and put a fresh copy of Windows, which I did. Until she tells me, like last week, she turned it on, did a update, and this just froze. So she ordered an SSD, a toolkit, and a flash drive. And last night, I want everybody to give her a round of applause because she cracked open her machine and replaced the solid state, the SSD.
Hooray!
No, I mean that,
It's the first time that I've actually been able to get my own hands inside of my own machine.
Yes, because every time there's been work that has to be done, I do it. But she watches me, so...
I do.
Yeah.
I not only watch him do all of the work, I legit sit down and watch various YouTubers and streamers and all of that also do this, just because I'm a geek.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first time I've done it for myself. Anything inside of the computer.
And I will say one thing about Anime Jam Session, the women and the AFABs of the show, is that the right term, Barry? AFAB?
AFAB? I've never heard the term used.
It's a term where, if you're non-binary, but it's like you're
I mean, you can just say non-binary.
Femme looking as something like that,
Assume gender at birth.
I guess
that's what it means.
AFAB is okay.
Yeah.
But I've never been called that before. So.
And what's funny is I do see that from time to time on my Facebook, but I haven't seen it lately. But I assumed it was a proper term for non-binary people who look.
I mean, it can be, yeah, but I think most of the time people just use the non-binary pronoun, so I guess it doesn't get used except for by folks who are allies or trying to learn.
So what do you prefer?
I mean, you can just say non-binary.
Okay, cool. So as I was saying, all the females and non-binary people that are part of Anime Jam Session know their way around the computer. Okay,
a little bit.
There have been times me and Mako has bounced stuff off of each other about her tech. There have been times me and Barry have bounced stuff off of each other about tech and stuff like that. So good times all around. And also when I do my panel on Twitch construction, all of that, that's something I emphasize, because if you're a Twitch content creator and you got that computer that you bought pre-built, remember, after a couple of years, that warranty is gone. So you need to learn a few things so you can save a few dollars to do the work yourself. So Bonds006 says, I recall the first time I got my hands in the Guts to Family PC. It was wonderful. I am working my way into a Dell Swell Factor Optiplex 770. Bro, I am on like one of the Facebook groups about servers and stuff. There are people who are making with 10 to 20 small form factor PCs as clusters. I'm just like, I just want a simple server to back data up. That's it. I don't want nothing else fancy. That's it. So it's it. That's that. We're all good now. Now I remoted into the machine, loaded the software, and I told Mako, take care of everything else. Well, we forgot to plug in some of the hardware, which is why now the camera just came on in. And we have a nice little tree there. Happy little tree.
My bonsai.
Oh, that's a bonsai. Okay.
A Lego bonsai.
Yeah, it's a Japanese maple bonsai.
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking at the leaf. I'm like, I couldn't tell. Okay.
It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes,
Which
this was one of my birthday gifts from my mother and her girlfriend. Um, this is the first Lego kit that I got that had paper bags in it, and one
Oh,
of the
that's
pieces was
nice.
missing.
That sucks.
Yeah, and they said that the pieces they tend to be, I guess they get stuck in the crease or
mm-hmm.
something. I checked. I didn't throw anything out because I had heard that, so I double checked, I triple checked.
Mm-hmm.
The piece was missing. I went to the Lego store because the piece itself is only 7 cents. But Lego wanted $7
In
for
shipping?
processing and shipping. So obviously I wasn't going to pay $7 for a 7-cent piece. I went into the Lego store. Lego store does not have the Technics pieces. And that's what was missing, was one of the number 3 gray Technic pieces, which basically holds all of the branches together.
The axles or the pins?
Yeah. So
I
I
find swords
decided,
and things.
yeah, I decided that since I had to order a crap ton of stuff off of Amazon, I ended up getting myself a $7 box that has nothing but those pieces in it.
Oh wow!
The number 3s, the number 6s, the flathead ones. So now I have a case of those just in case anything like that happens again. And I will add that to all of my extra pieces from all of the other Legos, because of course I have a shit ton of extra pieces for Legos.
You
Not
too,
the
huh?
piece that I needed.
I don't know about you, but right now I'm picturing Mako-chan kind of kicking back like George Jetson, wearing a Lego jersey and a ball cap, and holding her finger up as a Technic piece is like spinning above her finger, you know? I can see that, you know? Sort of
I
like,
had an issue.
yeah.
I had a similar issue with that with the lighthouse build I had,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up going to a rebricker place near me because I'd still put in like, hey, you left the piece out of the bag, and the actual piece from Lego came like 2.5 weeks after I finished the build.
Wow.
And it was one of those little like rock pieces that make up like the rocky outcropping that the lighthouse is on.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
yeah, now I've got like 2 or 3 extra of those
gotcha.
that I'm not doing anything with.
Oh, Mako-chan, you might be hearing from Jamie sometime soon because she's been putting together like the Lego flowers and trees and stuff. And I told her how you got light kits for yours. So
I love my light kits. I'm still trying to decide if I want to get a light kit for this one.
I kind of like how it's reflecting in the light now.
Well, yeah, that's just because my light, my overhead light is on.
Yeah.
But like they make light kits for all of the freaking kits that are out there now. I'm really thinking about getting a light kit for my Starry Night painting.
Look, if I could put up a shelf here, I would get a little display for my Game Boy and put in a light kit so you can see the quote unquote green LCD screen, which would be perfect till I actually get the mod kit for it. I can't believe somebody actually put out a mod kit for the Lego Game Boy where you can play actual Game Boy games in it.
Because of course somebody would.
I think that's freaking cool.
That is really
I'm saying,
freaking
yeah,
cool.
it is cool, but the thing's probably like more expensive than the Lego set itself.
About $30-$40. Besides, it's like a one person that's making it or something like that. I think it's kind of cool. So, anywho, moving right along here, we got some housekeeping to do. Let you know that episodes of Anime Jam Session Video Edition is available on our YouTube page Thursdays at 12 noon. So definitely be on check out for those. Let's see what else we have here. I've been kind of neglecting the website. I'm sorry, but once I get these photos done of the last convention I was at and and Zenkai, I'll have a lull until AAC. Yeah, because that's in August. So, because Kamea-con is happening, but it's back in Texas, so there's nothing going on in June. I know we're not doing that's CloverCon, and I think that's it. I don't know. I think we got some free time coming, so I can kind of put a little bit more time to the website. So there is that. And we're kicking off our 2026 convention schedule, ZenkaiCon, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, this weekend. So come through and hang out and have a good time. It's not a huge con. It's not a small con. It's right there in the middle, and have fun with that. So now that we got that out the way, I want to bring up something real quick because I just saw this pop up earlier. Because I want to say something really quick before we get into the articles. For those of you who do not know, today, I believe, is the 29th anniversary of Toonami, or the 29th birthday of Toonami. So I can say one thing about Toonami for those of you who don't know. Toonami was part of Cartoon Network, and it's where they would show a lot of new cartoons, especially mostly anime and so forth. And I think a lot of people who didn't have access to buying anime and so forth, this was their floodgate to some pretty cool dub titles. So I don't know about you, but when they had Yu Yu Hakusho on Toonami, I got absolutely giddy as F because I really enjoyed that anime.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. And I think my favorites on there had to be Yu Yu Hakusho, Tenchi Muyo, and of course Sailor Moon. All right. What about Joe? What was that one anime you enjoyed watching on Toonami?
Well, aside from Sailor Moon and DBZ, there was a Ronin Warriors, which I was all about.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the new series?
No, I have not.
Yep, there's a new series on Crunchyroll. It's basically a follow-up, a sequel series.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Barry?
I don't know. I agree with Ronin Warriors and the Gundam series, all the Gundam series they ran. I would also say Outlaw Star, because I know that one ran on Toonami for a while as well.
That's another good one.
That was
Yeah,
one of
Outlaw
the
Star, I
first.
think, was one of my favorites. That ran in the beginning, and then Sailor Moon, obviously, and a few others. But yeah, I definitely loved Outlaw Star.
All right, what about you,
And
Mako?
Trigun, I think.
Okay.
They ran later.
All right, and what about you, Mako? All of them.
Definitely Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Gundam Wing. Tenchi Muyo.
Mm-hmm.
Big O.
Yes. I looked forward to Big O, and I think it's streaming because there were episodes that I totally missed. So
yeah, the fact that Big O did so well in the States that Japan did a second season just for us.
I will say, I actually marked out when they had Voltron on there because I'm like, I haven't.
The old one, right?
Yes,
yeah,
classic Voltron. I had not seen Voltron since I was like high. So
yeah.
And I'm looking at like there's a little collage of titles on another Facebook page, and one of them on here is Outlaw Star. And I started thinking, well, I find it interesting that they announced a Firefly animated series, and the first thing out my mouth was, you can always watch Outlaw Star and call it a day. And here's the thing. There are people nowadays who don't understand the little in-joke. And for those of you who don't know, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was said that Joss Whedon ripped off Cowboy Bebop and Outlaw Star for Firefly and Serenity. Now, I'm not talking about the fact that these were all popular space westerns. As it was told to me, he completely ripped much of it and just changed some of the names and stuff. And there is that. I personally am not a fan of Firefly. I watched an episode like, yeah, this is not my thing. So it is what it is. And as time went on, people have said that he ripped off Phantom Quest Corps for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And he ripped off Gunslinger Girl for Dollhouse. Those last two, I really can't say. But the other one, about firefighting. That's been floating around for years. So that's always been like a little in joke. So now when you hear somebody say that, now you know. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and get into our first story of the night. Barry, I see Crunchyroll is having some, how you say, financial
They're
issues.
still fucking around. They're still finding out. In this the year of our Lord 2026.
They continue to FAFO. So take it away, Preacher Barry. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, for those of you who are giant weebs in the US and outside of the US, Crunchyroll has layoffs or updating and confirms new restructuring in 2026. As the meat grinder churns amid intensifying layoffs across digital media, Crunchyroll employees are reporting yet another wave of layoffs less than 6 months after the summer 2025 layoffs. While the current total affected has not yet been confirmed, Screen Rant, which is where we're finding this article today, reached out to Crunchyroll for comment on the situation unfolding. The news came via announcements such as the former senior product designer China Nadell, who stated in March that LinkedIn post that she was affected by Crunchyroll's latest mass layoff, and industry professionals have initiated an outpouring of support for those affected, even as similar struggles ravage the gaming sector. It's going to this restructuring is coming mere months after the summertime layoff because broader reporting on the names and total numbers of employees affected hasn't surfaced yet. And a source at Crunchyroll confirmed to Screen Rant that the company is undergoing restructuring across HR, e-commerce, product and design. Furthermore, they did not provide specific numbers. They estimated that departures were roughly 1/8 to 1/7 the size of Crunchyroll's August 2025 layoff. In particular, the e-commerce side affected by Crunchyroll's restructuring involves shifting merchandise and e-commerce in the Crunchyroll store. The intent is to change strategy for how merchandise is made available to collectors and fans, but there's no confirmation on like what a solution will look like. Product and HR are similarly affected by the shift, although there are fewer specifics on how. And all three departments saw roles eliminated based on location, as Crunchyroll seeks to move roles internationally to address the company's growth in Latin America, India, and other parts of Southeast Asia. From the scope of restructuring, this doesn't quite reach mass layoff levels. Crunchyroll's current trajectory stands at odds with new layoff claims, and given its impressive user base of 17 million subscribers, as reported by Deadline, Crunchyroll appears to be in a strong position despite loftier goals of 25 million subscribers by last year, as insiders claim. Yet, with multiple solid endeavors, including runaway box office successes for Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man movies, mass layoff claims would need to reflect a worse state of affairs. The company is very ambitious for growth on a much larger international scale, and it appears this restructuring, while undoubtedly awful for all those affected, is just a reallocation of resources and existing investments. Crunchyroll is already recognized as a primary destination for legal anime streaming, wink wonk. But in a troubling landscape of constant digital media layoffs, this news can be quickly misinterpreted. This isn't say things that couldn't be better for Crunchyroll. They now face more formidable competition in anime streaming from industry giant Netflix and Japanese mainstays like Toho. I don't think they have anything to worry about Netflix if they're still doing that AI shit. Are dedicating resources to reach similarly broad streaming audiences. By all accounts, Crunchyroll is doing well, and it appears intent on maintaining and growing its lead position. Yep.
I thought it was Amazon was the one that was doing the AI stuff. So.
Well, yeah,
Amazon
they're doing
was,
it too.
and Netflix experimented with it.
Okay, I must
and
have missed
they had
that
a really
part.
bad banana fish cover.
And,
But the banana fish was Amazon.
Oh, yeah, it gets better. It gets
Was
better.
Amazon?
Yeah.
It gets better. Like, I forget which one it was, but they were complaining that the AI voices don't sound human enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because
I saw that statement on the article, and I just looked at it like.
See, that's the thing. I mean, about the AI.
What do you think?
Let me tell you. Every so often, my Facebook reels change. Right now, it's hood/ghetto urban Facebook reels, dancing AI cats, and really bad AI videos of cats doing dumb stuff. Like there was one video of a cat wearing a kilt playing the bagpipes, yes. And you hear the owner come out screaming at the cat at it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But the thing is, even if you couldn't tell this was AI, but it blatantly is because a cat wearing a kilt playing the bagpipes, the owner's voice is kind of scratchy, sort of. Think of like, imagine hearing somebody's voice and then sort of like, you know, when a record player, when you put a record on the turntable, that
like,
little,
like the cracking and
yes, the
popping of record
crackling,
player.
somebody's voice, and you hear the crackling undertone of the voice. That alone tells you it's AI. So,
See, what I've been doing is I've just, going through all the motions. Like I block it, I report it as scam / fraud, and then click mark this as AI. So it does a little bit to help mitigate the AI slop on your Facebook feed, especially in Reels and Shorts. But it still feels like stopping AI slop is just like fighting a Hydra.
No, it really is. It really
you
is.
cut off
Well,
one
because
person, two more pop up.
it's always going to exist in
yes.
some form or another because people find it useful as a tool. And I'll give it what it's due. Like it's useful as a tool in certain contexts and circumstances, but consent is the biggest thing. Consent and understanding that, not misrepresenting what it is. Because at the end of the day, it's not made by humans. It's made
Right.
by
Yeah.
an artificial intelligence.
See,
And I think that
And I saw this
that
article
is
that
what bothers me the most.
that Denmark, I believe it was Denmark, passed a law that said every person in the country has the copyright, like owns the copyright of their own face, their person,
that's good.
face, voice, etc. So
I mean, look, I mean, the
make it
most,
easier to fight back against AI slop mongers.
yeah, the most I use like Chat GPT for is like, I've had it to like, rewrite a couple things because I suck at writing half the time. I've always double talked through my art, like my term papers and shit in school, like I said, it's one of the reasons why I podcast, because I suck at writing,
Well, it's like the difference between a story, like that's the difference between a story I heard of a woman writing slop, smutty, dark romance novels using fake names because she knew of the blowback, and then not being discerning that it was written by AI and playing it off that it wasn't, that it was written by human hand when it wasn't. And that's the bigger thing. Like if you're going to use the tool to do things like help you rewrite a document or to do certain things, it's a tool. Like at the end of the day, as long as you say, hey, assisted by AI, or this was AI, and you're using data and stuff like that that's been consented to be used, then that's less of an issue. It's all the people trying to justify the unconsenting data that's been consumed by it. Unfortunately, now it's a little hard to differentiate between what was consented and what unconsented. But
and as for the other like layoffs at Crunchyroll that's going on, I bet a lot of those are like corporate side stuff, because remember, they did absorb Funimation, so they're probably chopping up the last of those Funimation roles and rolling them into Crunchyroll. And like, well, we got enough here, we don't need this. And don't forget, their parent company is more or less is Sony. So a lot of like HR and other, that falls under them. So they don't need as many office people. You just need like people to rep the company and a liaison to go back and forth. So that's probably what the bulk of that's going to be. So,
but of course they're going to post. We've had record profits this quarter.
Well, honestly, when it comes to stream like that, I want to see Crunchyroll with record profits. I do.
Not at the expense of firing all the people and leaning on AI.
No, not in that aspect. No. I mean, I want to see more people paying for your anime. That's it. You're talking to somebody that used to be devious when it comes to like pirating stuff. To be fair, there are some pirated titles that are sitting on my hard drive. The only reason why they're there is I'm not spending $500 on a burn up W box set when I can just Hope and pray to the gods that Discotek Media will get the license and re-release it for $19.99. I just found out one of my favorite harem animes, Handmaid May, that I bought the original DVD box set for like almost $70. It's one of my pride and joys of my collection. It's on Blu-ray. It's probably just the regular episodes on Blu-ray, but I'm like, I will gladly get my hands on that. So, anywho, moving right along, we're going to get into our next story about Pokopia. And I know a couple of people here have been playing Pokopia. Yeah. That Pokemon trainer over there.
Shush.
I don't have Switch 2 yet, so I haven't gotten it.
We will not discuss that I bought my Switch 2 specifically so I could play Pokopia.
That's because you did that
and
last
like
week.
Thousands of other players.
So that was you last week. Okay, you said that last week. That's why you bought it.
Yeah, as I said, the only reason why I got a Switch was Pokemon. The only reason why I got a Switch 2 was Pokemon. But yeah, so quite a few people ended up getting Pokopia. And the number of 2.2 million copies in just the first 4 days. Over 1 million of those copies were sold in Japan alone. So these figures include both the game key cart and the digital versions. Obviously, both of which you would need to be able to play on the console anyway. So they don't quite know exactly, because obviously Mario Kart World had sales with the console itself. So they are assuming that Pokopia is probably the second fastest selling Switch 2 exclusive. But again, don't know. They are saying that it is on par with the Pokemon Legends ZA Switch 2 edition, which again released on Switch 2, but also released on the original Switch. They are stating, as of the time of this article, which was the 12th, so obviously a hell of a lot more has been sold since then. But they are currently, as of the 12th, again, saying that Pokopia is the 13th best-selling game from the spin-off titles, and that is right now behind Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia. Again, that was at 2.35 million. This has definitely gone past that. So they are saying that it is definitely going to become one of the best-selling spin-off games for the franchise.
And
I am not very far into it at all at this point.
I was about to ask how far you were.
Yeah, no. I have been waiting a little bit. I have been working on various things, but I haven't really been fully playing the game, only because I'm looking at what amounts to spoilers of people finding things. So I've been mentally putting those into my brain in order to be able to find them myself. There are legendaries that you can find, including Mew, including the three birds. I know of at least Suicune being in there. I haven't seen anybody mention the other two for that series, but yeah. So I haven't heard anything about the other two from that series. But there are Pokemon so far from, I think, all of the generations as of right now, from what I've been seeing. And then obviously there is an end game. You do get a full story, but a lot of the game itself is more Animal Crossing. Actually, I would probably say it's closer to Disney Dreamlight. Just in, having to introduce people into it, having to build their home, and all of that. You're not really limited to a certain number, where, like like you are in Animal Crossing. It's also a lot like Minecraft, because you're building with blocks. You're building, like the actual scenery with
Mm.
I have
blocks.
seen, Twitter like tweets and stuff like that saying, "Hey, I recreated, insert Pokemon setting here in Pokopia."
Yeah, so I mean, I won't go into the story itself, but there are various worlds that you can open, which do coincide with some of the real life places from Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have your own island, uh, and that they call it Palette Town, but it's spelled like a paint palette.
Mm.
I get it.
Um, yeah, so that island is actually, you have to go on the bike path to get to that island, which I think is really amusing. But that island is basically for you to do whatever you want to with. That is also the island where you meet Eevee, and Eevee wants you to find all of its friends, which obviously it's all of its evolutions. So there are at least two separate entities, um, but it's fun.
Okay.
I've been having fun playing it. I've actually been having fun watching people play it.
All right.
So I mean, if you like to watch people play video games on Twitch or on YouTube or whatever, this is definitely a really fun one to just sit and watch somebody do all of the creations for this. Being able to talk to the Pokemon and understand the Pokemon because you yourself are a Pokemon, that also is really cool too.
Mm.
But yeah, I definitely, if this is something like, if you are into cozy games, definitely get Pokopia.
And on a side note here, Bonds006 says, speaking of Pokemon and Digimon, watching episodes of Digimon Breakers last night, Geckomon makes Suezo Monster Rancher come to mind. Okay. It's been a while since I've heard Monster Rancher. I mean, I liked that anime, but when I heard the original Japanese opening theme, I'm just like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the big three Mon series. Obviously, Pokemon exploded,
Mm-hmm.
so that is always going to be my go-to for the first.
Yeah.
Um,
Pokemon and
but
Digimon exploded, and Monster Rancher got riddled with shrapnel.
And here's
yeah,
something
but
you
it's actually really good.
does. Now here's something. The original Japanese name is Monster Farm, which is interesting. I look at it this way: Pokemon is for elementary school kids, to have their Digimons, their Pokemons and so forth, have fun with that. Digimon is for like teenagers, for all the action and so forth. And Monster Rancher is like, all right, so you're in high school now, kid. Get ready. It's just, and I say that in the aspect of when you watch the different animes and how the stories that they tell on each different show, it kind of feels that way. But we got that out the way. Now our next story here, we're talking about one of my favorite fandoms, Love Live, and it seems like Love Live won one's animation album of the year, as said by the RIAJ. And for those of you who don't know, that is the Recording Industry Association of Japan. And I believe they call theirs the Golden Disc Award, which is kind of cool. I like the sound of that. Now, the Gold Disc Awards was established in 1987, and it's based on data such as sales figures of CDs, videos, and digital downloads. It also honors artists and works that contribute to the development of the Japanese recording industry. And awards are selected across various genres from pop to rock to classical, all types of, including traditional Japanese music. And as you know, in Japan, anime and anime music kind of goes one and the same. Like when you turn on the radio here and you're listening to rock, hip hop, jazz, and stuff like that, you know? Now, they have a category called the Animation Album of the Year. And it went to Love Live, and the album was album's called Olio Ishikawa Dal Kanko by Hasuno Sora Geogaken School Idol Club. And this is probably the new Love Live series that's coming out soon. And this is an 8-member idol unit. Thank God they're kind of making them a little bit smaller. Just saying. The album came out March 26th of last year, and it peaked at number 3 in the Oricon's weekly album charts. Wow. The album has 7 tracks, including the title song that was inspired by the Ishikawa Prefecture, which is where this new series takes place, which is kind of cool. Love Live Hasuno Sora Geogakuken School Idol Club is the 5th installment in the Love Live franchise. Whoo boy. It centers around the smartphone app Link Like Love Live, which came out in May of 2023, and it's coming to be expanded through video streaming on their official YouTube channel, which is, if I click on it, if you go youtube.com/LoveLive_Hasu, HASU. So definitely head right over there for that. There's a 3D CG animated film called Love Live Hasunora Geogakuen School Idol Club Bloom Garden Party. Oh, it's not even out yet. The film's coming out later this year, May 8th. That's pretty cool. So there's more Love Live coming down the path. Okay. I have Love Live on Blu-ray and the movie. I have Sunshine on Blu-ray and the movie. I don't have School Idol Club because I enjoyed that, but I just wasn't a fan of it per se enough to buy the physical. As for Superstar, I'm actually waiting for like a box set of all 3 seasons put together. So there is that. And I'm kind of hoping that if they haven't put it out yet, they will soon, because I'm like the conservative anime fan. I can't just be buying one season for 30, another season for 30, another season. Let me get all 3 seasons for $50 and call it a day. So now we got that out the way. Let's get into our next story here. Ari, what's up with KPop Demon Hunters? I know what's up, and I think that's really cool. So tell those who basically did not know what the heck happened over the weekend.
Yeah, Maggie Kang and Chris Applehand's KPop Demon Hunters won Best Animated Feature in the 98th Academy Awards ceremony on Sunday. It competed against Zootopia 2, Arco, Elio, and Little Emile, or the character of Rain. Mm. And Golden also won Best Original Song. Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli's A Boy and the Heron previously won Best Animated Feature Film in 2024. And K-Pop Demon Hunters is getting a sequel with Kang and Applehans to return. Which, it's really good for them. Mm-hmm. I ended up watching it Sunday evening at work because there was nothing else going on, and work was pretty much dead. Mm.
Okay, I find this kind of amusing. I'm looking up Love Live Superstar. Uh-huh. First 2 seasons are on Blu-ray, and they're asking a little bit too much, but I'm like, yeah, I probably will pluck the money down. But as I'm scrolling through the list, because it's Superstar, they also list Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, God. There's a crossover that can only happen in the depths of Tumblr.
Could you just imagine Jesus as an idol singer?
Don't say that out loud, otherwise some Japanese manga creator will get that idea.
We already have a manga with Jesus and Buddha.
Yeah. Well, they already have a Bible manga. Like they already have a Bible. I would not be surprised, to tell you the truth, if they had a Bible anime. I would
There
not be
was a
surprised.
Bible anime. It came out in the 70s. It was called Superbook.
That's wild, bro.
Yes. And I remember seeing bits and pieces of it as a kid, but I had no idea what it was. So I came across an article about it. All right, Mako. I'm kicking it to you because it's your fandom now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know this is gonna make a lot of people happy. It's also gonna make a lot of people sad because it's probably gonna be really freaking expensive. But they did announce that some of the fan favorites from the Japan Universal Studios will be making their way over to Universal Fan Fest nights. And one of those is going to be Sailor Moon. So this is going to be Universal Studios Hollywood. It is going to debut the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon The Miracle Moon Palace Chapter Deluxe, an all-original Japanese CG anime short film. The original short film debuted as part of Universal Studio Japan's popular Cool Japan, but now those in attendance at FanFest nights will be able to gather within DreamWorks Theater to watch a subtitled version featuring Super Sailor Moon as she battles an unforeseen enemy with sinister motives to acquire the legendary Silver Crystal. It is said, with her unwavering spirit accompanied by audience support, Super Sailor Moon will prove good indeed prevails over evil as she outwits her rival and restores tranquility to the Moon Palace. This is going to be joined by Scooby-Doo meets Universal Monsters, One Piece, Dungeons and Dragons, Harry Potter, Yoshi's, and a couple that they haven't fully announced yet. Obviously, tickets are available for purchase. This is a separate ticket from the actual Universal Studios Hollywood ticket. So this will be an extra amount. It is not going to necessarily play every day. It is limited to 12 nights only, which would be April 23rd to 25th, May 1st through 3rd, 7th through 9th, 14th through 16th. And again, it's all over the place.
Oh God, these prices are hideous.
Yeah, so you do not necessarily, if you have a set day that you want to go, you're not necessarily going to be able to see Sailor Moon. All of these are happening during the same amount of weeks. If you are looking to do the Dungeons and Dragons one, I'm kind of wanting to see that because Jim Henson's Creature Shop is taking place with that.
That's cool.
So it is puppetry, animatronics, digital animation, all of that fun kind of stuff mixed with Dungeons and Dragons.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, if anybody is planning to go to Hollywood Studios at that time, look into this. If you are maybe wanting to take a quick trip, look into this. But just remember, again, these are not all playing at specific dates and times. So you will need to basically be aware as you're traveling there.
And it's probably going to be an absolute Donnybrook getting tickets to go in there.
Knowing the Sailor Moon fandom, yeah.
Yeah, I can see a lot of people attempting to get in there just for Sailor Moon. And I'm guessing that's probably why they're not giving specific dates and times, so that it isn't sold out specifically by, you know, crazy fans. But yeah, fun times.
I mean, I wanted to check this out, but then I saw the dates. I was like, well, crap. Well, it is what it is. But we end the articles on a positive note. Barry, who are the guests for the Japan Day Parade? I think that's kind of cool about that.
All right. So for New York City, they're having a Japan Day Parade. For those who didn't know, it's cherry blossom season, bitches. Get outside and touch some grass. Anyway,
Wait, hold up.
New York-
Hold up. Hold up. That is a great idea, except for one thing. Since post-COVID, New York City no longer has a cherry blossom festival.
Oh,
well, get outside and touch grass anyway.
Yes.
Go see the trees yourself. Like down near where I am, there's a whole cove of trees to go see. So go see some pretty trees, sniff some flowers, and have normies look at you weird. Anyway, New
Like
York
they don't
City's
already.
Japan Parade. Yeah, to host Aki Bright, Jujutsu Kaisen the stage show's cast. The 5th annual Japan Parade and Street Fair announced on Monday. Manga illustrator and the cast of the 2.5D stage play Jujutsu Kaisen. The stage will be performing during the parade. Aki Bright will be grand marshal at this year's event. Jujutsu Kaisen, the stage, cast members Ryosuke Miura or Satoru Gojo, Rei Fujita, Suguru Geto, Fuminori Morisara, curse user, and Yoshihiro Minami, curse user, Kai Kitamura, curse user, and Yuki Kubota, Toji Fushiguro will appear at the parade. The Japan Parade and Street Fair 2026 will take place on May 9th in Central Park West at 81st Street in New York City. And the Japan Night Reception and Concert will take place on May 9th at Edison Ballroom. The previous Japan Parade event hosted the Attack on Titan, the musical cast, and the Demon Slayer, the stage play cast. The 4th Jujutsu Kaisen stage play titled Butai Jujutsu Kaisen Kaikyo Gyokusetsu, stage Jujutsu Kaisen Hidden Inventory Premature Death, ran in Tokyo in August and in Osaka in September. The first Jujutsu Kaisen stage play ran from July to August 2022, and the second stage play adapted the Kyoto Goodwill event arc and the Origin of Obedience arc and ran from December 2023 to January 2024. The third stage play adapted the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero Tokyo Toritsu Jujutsu Koto Senmon Gakko, or Jujutsu Kaisen Tokyo Prefectural Jujutsu High School manga prequel and ran from December 2024 to January 2025. Illustrator Aki Bright is a self-taught manga artist. He founded the design studio Brightworks in 2002. He was one among 6 artists chosen by the Museum of Modern Art curator Paolo Antonelli to demonstrate Japanese art to travelers in Japan. The Narita and Haneda airports installed his manga-style videos starting from February 2021, and Bright has designed merchandise for Hasbro's Transformers franchise. He's collaborated with BMW of Germany on a manga titled Heroes of Rivalry featuring esports team Cloud9, Fnatic, Fun Plus Phoenix, G2 Esports, T1, and OG Esports. Most recently, Bright drew the illustrations for the McDonald's limited time campaign of McDonald's. He was also a guest at Anime Expo 2024 and 2023.
I will say, I remember going to the first Japan Day Parade. I believe they had the current Sarah Miyu cast as guests. So I know I was there. I believe my friend Linwood was there too. And I think Cinnaite was it? I don't remember. But I do know going, I was wearing my... No, wait, now I remember. I was wearing my Sailor Venus soccer jersey, and I saw a few other Moonies wearing their soccer jerseys, and there I am standing, recording, the parade, because the Grand Marshal was George Takei. Now, I know I've told this story before. For those of you,
the story.
Yes. And for those of you who haven't heard this story before, remember I mentioned George Takei. Remember. So... the parade as everybody's coming down, there's the display for Sailor Moon, the float, and I think if I remember correctly, the actress for Venus looked over as I'm waving, and she saw that I was wearing the Sailor Venus soccer jersey, and she got excited. The person that played Mercury saw the other girl wearing hers, and I thought was really cool. So as everything goes, here comes, the Grand Marshal, George Takei, and I'm recording, and he's waving, and I'm standing there going, live long and prosper, and he's looking around. I think he saw me, and he did the Vulcan sign as well. And I stopped, and I looked around, and I realized I am the only person, and I'm like, Senpai noticed me. Now, when I was working there, I get an email asking to set up a laptop for to record a podcast, because I guess word got around. I knew my way around some stuff, so I'm like, yeah, sure. I put it together, set it up, and then they tell me, okay, great, it's for George Takei, and I was just like, what? So I got home, pulled the video footage of him, and there I am in the room with George and his husband Brad and their rep, and and I'm telling him it is an honor to be here, and I really appreciate everything you've done, and I tell him about the Japan Day Parade, and I show him the footage, and I said that was me doing the sign, and I said, words cannot describe how much I really appreciated that. And he thought it was awesome. His husband thought it was awesome, and as we're talking, he asks me my real name. And, granted, on the podcast, I don't give out my real name, but for those of you who do know my real name, I tell him. So he makes a reference to a box office bomb rock movie that featured a certain DC Comics character. And he said, I was the real person. I thought that was the best compliment I ever gotten from anybody ever. So.
Rama. Rama.
What?
I'm about to put something into the Discord chat.
Well, you might want to message it directly to me, because if you put it in the Discord chat, it'll pop up and everybody will see it.
Well, everybody on the show can see it. But this goes back to idols.
You might want to post it in the Twitch chat then.
This is a Facebook group called Cursed AI.
Yeah. Oh God.
Have at thee your Jesus with idols.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. For those of you who don't know, I have a dual monitor setup, and the second monitor sits on the floor because I don't have any space. So if you see me moving deeply to one side, I am checking the monitor. But also, if I can move my mouse over, I can do something, and I can kind of see the mouse, but I cannot. All right. Let's see how bad this is.
Mako?
Yes?
Why?
I was interested to see if, it was real. And from what I found, it is actually a popular trope.
All right.
For those that do anime art.
I copy and
I'm
paste.
any questions about
Okay. I copy and paste the link, and I'm about to open this up.
I ain't getting those.
I'm so glad I
can't see. This is
sorry,
great.
There are some things that I needed to see in this movie. Those things that I was hoping to find. So you're welcome.
I have to admit, I really like the black and white image. And one of the images gives new meaning to the term bearded lady.
Yeah, there is
Is
an
it giving
anime
Lady Beard
style
energy? Is that what's
Japanese
happening?
music video.
Oh God! Oh God!
Featuring religious themes. It's called Nani.
Yeah, Nani is appropriate. That's an appropriate
More like
reaction.
Nani the fuck.
Well, that too, but
Yeah. So you're welcome.
I posted it in our Twitch chat because a couple of people were asking in the Discord. I'm like, no, if I post this in our Discord, there's going to be some blowback because it's AI.
Yeah.
So here, enjoy.
Ew.
Oh,
Ew. Thanks, I hate it. Ew.
Jesus and his disciples. Jesus and his disciples. The Holy Communion tour.
wait, is Judas the one? Like, which one's the Judas that's gonna, break off and start her own idol group somewhere?
Oh, speaking of idols, before we move into Meanwhile in Japan, I know Mako-chan is a big fan of Gem and the Holograms.
Ugh.
They're doing a new comic that picks up right where the cartoon left off.
Ooh, that's
That's
exciting.
cool.
All right. I have to remember to make that an episode highlight.
We're gonna get so many good reaction gifs out of this.
I really want to post this to our socials, but it's AI.
it.
It's AI, regardless if it's
Yeah.
cursed
Oh,
or
don't
not.
do
Point,
it.
point,
Don't
never
do it.
mind.
It's not worth it.
It's not. I will.
Better to not give extra promotion to that kind of stuff. 'Cause
Yeah. I mean, somebody already did a really bad one in the MagFest groups, and he got raked over the coals for it, even though it was it was terrible, but still.
Well, I mean, it is
Yeah.
AI, unfortunately, and so that means
Yes.
it uses stuff that's so
Right. All right. Now that we're back to some semblance of normalcy, we're at the part of the show.
Let's only pick up the broken pieces of my mind off the floor.
Mhm.
Fair.
I try.
When Mako-chan says she's trying, you're in for it. When you see steam coming out of her ears and her mind is spinning at warp factor 12, you're probably not going to survive what she sends you.
Mhm.
But anyway,
I want to take the second one.
Just letting
I want
you
to take the
know.
one with the bear, bro. I want the bear one.
Just letting you know that Google search is all in how you word things.
I bet it is.
That's very true. That's very much true. Mhm.
Can I take the first one then?
damn it. Yeah, you can take it. Go ahead and take it. I'll take the... All right, which one do you want, Mako?
It doesn't matter.
I'll take the last one.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. A Tokyo bus line is praised for handling a driver's mental health. Someone posted online about an incident that occurred on a Toei bus line departing from Tokyo Big Sight. At the time, the driver bus closed the doors just as the passenger was approaching. The passenger got angry and shouted, "You saw me, why did you close the door?" At that point, the driver contacted Toei Bus, told him he wasn't in the right mental state to drive, and requested for his bus to be suspended. The company agreed and the bus was taken out of service right then and there. The original post was critical of the driver, possibly due to frustration from having their bus canceled at the last minute. They also pointed out that the driver drove the empty bus back to the depot themselves. However, the response to the incident was overwhelmingly supportive of both the driver and Toei Bus's professional handling of the situation. As the news spread, even more support came out in the comments. The person who harassed the driver should have to compensate the other passengers. Everyone is different, but I experienced firsthand how getting yelled at can impair your judgment and your field of vision. I'm glad the company made the right decision. Harassing customers is the lowest form of scum. I wish that mentality would take off here. It's dangerous to push yourself too hard while driving. Well done to the driver for recognizing you had a problem and for the company accepting it. There were also some comments that mentioned the incident was rather mild compared to other cases of customer harassment and felt the driver was overreacting. However, they don't call it the straw that broke the camel's back for nothing, and who's to say what that person had gone through up until that point? Even while it's only that incident, the fact that he had other people's lives in his hands made erring on the side of caution the right choice. Toei Bus also deserves credit for disrupting their services for the sake of safety. Although buses aren't quite as meticulous as trains when it comes to punctuality, they still take it seriously. Moreover, the bus industry is dealing with a serious driver shortage these days, and Toei Bus was most recently had to cut 200 trips per day across Tokyo because there weren't enough drivers, so every bus counts. Cynics might order this is still just a matter of yen counting, since an accident would be devastating to the company brand and the financial risk simply wasn't worth it. A little cynical to think about, but yeah. But Toei Bus is run by the Tokyo government and isn't nearly as vulnerable to bad PR as a private company would be. So yeah, it's better that the guy had his line shut down than he just snaps, starts screaming like a madman, and ramps the bus off a cliff, or straight into oncoming traffic.
Now, I will say that from everybody that's kind of saying what he complained about wasn't that serious, let me say this. And I know it's happened to me. And this is probably has happened to everybody on this show, everybody who is watching, participating, and listening, where somebody says something to you and they're angry and they're upset, and they say just something like a short phrase or something like that. To them, it wasn't that serious, but to you, that cuts pretty deep because you don't know what type of a day they don't know what type of day you had. So normally someone will say, why did you do that? Most of the time, it's not a big deal, whatever, not my problem. But you might have had a day where somebody's complaining and you're just like, you know what, I'm out. That was my tipping point. I am done. So I don't blame the driver for pulling over like that, And I will say, riding the buses and the trains in Japan for 2 weeks compared to dealing with the MTA here is like night and day. Because I tell you this now, you pop an attitude with a New York City bus driver, if they don't throw you off the bus, they will throw you underneath the bus, I saw a video where a bus driver kicked everybody off and closed up shop and just drove off. It said, no. I saw one where they had the cops show up. I mean, and I get it. So, yeah. All right. Let's see who has our next story is Barry.
I got it for you, Rama.
All right.
So yeah, you think that's gonna be stressful to your mental health? Well, think of the bears, chat. Think of the bears. They're just sleeping, minding their own business right now. And it's rude, humans being rude. So a man in Japan fell into a hole with a bear in it. Sunday morning hike takes a bizarre and terrifying turn. On Sunday morning, a 69-year-old Japanese man was on Iwakamiyama, a mountain in Iwate Prefecture, with a layer of snow still on the ground. The man and his female companion had unintentionally wandered off the hiking trail and were trying to find their way back to it. Being off course on a winter hike can be very dangerous, as it becomes difficult to see whether or not there's secure footing where you're walking. Sure enough, the man ended up stepping into a hole that was hidden by the snow.
Whoops.
Fortunately, he'd only slipped up to about waist deep. There is a video in the article denoting the reenactment of the hole that the man fell into being occupied by a hibernating bear. At least the bear had been hibernating until it suddenly had an uninvited guest in what was supposed to be a single occupancy sleeping space. I'm going to post the article in the chat for you guys to read along.
Whoops.
If you like. Startled and panicking, the bear bit the man on his left calf And even after he pulled himself back up out of the hole, it followed him out into the snow. Noticing his companion, the bear moved to attack her as well, but the man poked the animal with his hiking poles he was carrying, and the bear fled off into the forest. There's been a spike in a number of bear attacks on people and property in Japan over the last year, so much so that bear was selected as kanji of the year for 2025. However, in this instance, public sentiment seems strongly on the bear's side, judging from online comments such as, "You can't really say the bear was in the wrong here. A rare case of bear self-defense. The bear must have been even more surprised than the hiker. All of a sudden, I saw a pair of feet come crashing through my roof. It was so terrifying. I mean, if some dude just barged into my house, I'd be scared and start trying to fight him off too. Poor bear was just doing what it's supposed to and hibernating. How am I supposed to get any sleep like this?" The two hikers were able to find their way back to the designated course and return to town under their own power, and medical examiners determined that the man's injury is minor and should heal. The bear's level of sleepiness remains unknown. Hongshu. Though the hikers were off course unintentionally, the incident serves to highlight another reason why it's important to stick to the trail, as doing so helps maintain a buffer between humans and wildlife that's important for mutual safety. Thankfully, there have been no calls to cull the bear, seeing as how the encounter came about as a result of the hikers being in a part of the mountain they shouldn't have been in. But the bear might want to think about upgrading its next hibernation lair with some fancy Bluetooth doors that one Japanese company sells to keep people spaces and bear spaces separated.
Okay, let me say one thing. Exit pursued by a bear in theater? Awesome. Exit pursued by a bear in real life? Considerably more dangerous.
Yes. And as we have in the chat here at twitch.tv/anime jam session, I thought you meant the Chicago Bears. And poor Kuma-san, now he have to find a new sleeping spot.
And let me just throw this in here. And Mako-chan will probably be the only one who catches the reference of what I'm referring to. Who is driving bus? Bear is driving bus.
Who's driving? Oh no, Bear's driving. How can this be?
Bear's driving.
All right, so we've all seen Clerks, the animated series.
Yes, we have.
Yes.
All right, let's see what is next here. Oh, it's Mako's turn.
Yeah, so, if you happen to be passing through this neighborhood in Osaka on Wednesday morning, you may have seen a very strange sight. A large steel column in the middle of the road. You might think the city was adding a new support pillar to the elevated road overhead, but you would be wrong. It's not that the cylinder was too short. It's actually the length it's supposed to be. The problem is it's in the wrong place. It was supposed to be underground.
Whoops.
So it's actually a pipe. It was initially underground, but sometime during the early morning hours, it mysteriously rose up out of the ground to a height of roughly 13 meters, or 42.7 feet above the surface of the street. It didn't come up from a pre-existing hole. If you look at the pictures that are online, you can see that it burst through the pavement. So the pipe is part of a public waterworks construction project. The city is in the process of installing an auxiliary pipe to collect excess rainwater so as to prevent flooding if the capacity of existing drainage that channels into the sewer system is exceeded during severe storms. The pipe that burst up through the street is meant to connect the main and auxiliary pipes. With the connecting pipe having a total length of 27 meters, or as cultured civil engineers would measure it, 1.4 unicorn Gundams, if it continued rising, it actually would have struck the underside of the road above it. So traffic was shut down as fire crews filled the pipe with water, causing it to sink back towards the depths where it belongs. It took them 6.5 hours of constantly filling this pipe with water for it to finally sink back down. The reason why? Still don't know. But the Osaka municipal government is conducting an investigation into the matter. Meanwhile, despite Osaka being very close to Kyoto and Nintendo's headquarters, please refrain from jumping Super Mario style into any giant pipes you may come across in the city.
Woohoo!
My thing is, does that mean that all the connections were broken? Or did it pull up all of the things that it was connected to? And why did just filling it with water sink it back down? Like, is it just a pipe of nothing but water? Inquiring minds want to know.
A lot of things causing a lot of questions here tonight.
Well, maybe you should jump in the water and swim and find out.
No, I am not looking for octopi or squid in the water. Thank you very much.
Well, we'll give you a frog suit so you can navigate easier.
No. My luck, it's gonna turn into that nightmare that was the Ninja Turtle section of the video game that electrocuted you every time you fucking went through it. That's my luck.
Oh, Mako. Have you seen the cards for it?
The cards for what?
The Universes Beyond Magic?
I have seen the cards. I am trying to decide if I want...
Wait, what cards? Wait, what?
The Universes Beyond Magic the Gathering collection.
What? I might have saw that and deleted the email. What's up with that?
Yeah, it's just a cross promotion with the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
But anyway, there's a card based on swimming through that level.
I keep saying I'm going to go down to like Micro Center or wherever and buy a deck just to have. Same thing with the Final Fantasy and the Doctor Who decks I have. And one thing is,
the Doctor Who stuff is you might not be able to find it as easily anymore.
No, I already got it. I got it off of Woot for like $20 a while back. So I just wanted a deck to have.
There are still 2 of the Doctor Who Commander decks that I want. I keep watch on them on Amazon.
One thing is, I don't know if you ever seen this, but
here we go. I got the link to it. I'm going to post it in the Twitch chat.
All right, but
there's also a bunch of references to the first live action movie, and they're fantastic.
Cowabunga.
Nice.
I don't know if you ever seen this, but there is fan art of the Turtles on their Nintendo playing Turtles, and they're trying to get through that same electric seaweed yell level. I think Mikey is controlling the game, and one of the Turtles is screaming like avoid the seaweed or something like that.
Yeah, Mikey's not doing a good job, and his other brothers are giving him crap over.
Yeah, okay. Turtleception.
Yeah, that is where I died. I never made it past that
I've
point
made it past there a few times. Well, if I'm bringing my Switch and I have the cow, I'm going to see if I can get through that level on a wireless controller, see if I can still get through it, you know? And if it comes down to it, I'll just connect via USB-C to avoid latency. So now, here is our last story of the night from Meanwhile in Japan. It's about a man who drives a truck to a fire station, and he's dropping flaming potatoes. Flaming potatoes. On the night of March 12th, the operators at the 119 emergency call center in Kumamoto City received a call about a car that was on fire. And then they got multiple calls about it. Now, the reports weren't due to diligent residents reporting what was going on. It was a blaze in a parking lot on the side of the road. But the thing is, the car was on fire while it was being driven. Talk about night of fire. Talk about night of fire. Now,
hang on. I gotta make sure my this is working properly.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
No.
And something's wrong with voice mod. Great.
Well, here's the thing about voice mod. The output's got to be the same output that you're talking, like audience, like to make sure that everybody can hear all the music and so forth. I have it set for audience output. So it doesn't matter what input I have it on, everybody can hear the music, which I think is great. So, you know, when we're going live and all of that. So if you have your Nexus as audience out for your microphone, depending on, it doesn't matter where you set voice mod, everybody will hear it. I'll actually play around with it because I actually downloaded the voice mod add-on. But anyway, let me go ahead and get through this.
Audience mix.
Yeah, that's why I have my default at. So yes, Night of Fire. That and the story is a Yakimo truck, which is a type of food truck that has a stove on it, and this is a stove that you use for cooking sweet potatoes or yakimos. I've never had one, but maybe I'll get lucky and have one while I'm in Japan in November. These trucks are like basically like ice cream trucks in the U.S. They drive around slowly around different districts, playing a short jingle, let people know that they're there. But this night, though, this truck was driving at high speed as its 70-something-year-old owner/driver leaned on the horn to tell people to get out of the way because he can get through this. It seems that it's a famous Yakimo truck known in the local community. It has it's a distinctive collection of character figures on the roof of the cab, and it's called Gecko Common, based after a superhero TV show from the 50s. They don't know what caused the fire, but something did go wrong for the setup for the truck's wood-burning stove. Well, yeah. The driver says that he was out on his sweet potato selling rounds and he noticed smoke coming from the back of his truck. And since he was in the city center, it made the most amount of sense for him to drive to the fire station. Netizens had a few things to say about that. Like, guy wanted to deliver some really fresh roasted sweet potatoes. You don't really expect the fire to come to you in that line of work. I'm glad to see the truck's Anpanman figures are safe. I get that the driver felt that he had to do something, but was this the right choice? Oh. And it really
just stay with the truck and watch it burn.
More or less, you know. And a spokesperson for the Kumamoto Fire Department was asked about that. And they said they do not advise people to continue driving their cars all the way to the fire department, even if it's on fire. It is unsafe for the driver to stay inside a burning vehicle, but the debris that's falling off can start other fires and hurt other people and cause more damage. Just find a place to park the car and get out for the most part. Turn off the engine, turn on your hazard lights, and handle your business. So, as common as Yakimo trucks are in Japan, it's rare to hear about one catching fire, and especially rare to have one burn to its frame like this one did. One commenter pointed out that most of these trucks tend to be in the Japan's K-class of subcompacts, but the truck caught fire in Kumamoto was larger in size, which may have been a reason why the driver was unable to put the fire out on his own. That was interesting. Talk about your hot potato. All right. I think the damage is done. We are way late here. I think it's time for us to wrap it up and get out of here because we have a convention to go to this weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go ahead and carry this up. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent podcasters, independent bloggers, so what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. please check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find not just our weekly podcast, you will find cosplay interviews, cosplay tips and tricks, editorials, anime reviews. You'll also find our convention reports, all that and a lot more cool stuff at animejamsession.com. And while you're out listening, and if you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. And our podcast is available on any podcasting app, so definitely look for us at Anime Jam Session. If we're not on your podcasting app and you're listening from our website, let us know. We'll try and we'll do our best to get linked to that app service as well. Let's see what else we have here. Our social media. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky under Anime Jam Session. And for Blue Sky, it's animejamsession.com. So definitely come by, subscribe to us on our socials, and those who follow us already, thank you so much. Y'all are awesome, and we really appreciate this. Now, if you're still here, down below is direct links to our stream elements, our Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi. So every little bit that you donate to us for the stream keeps things going. I really appreciate that. If you can't do a direct donate, throw some bits at us. We had that happen earlier tonight, and that was really cool and appreciated. Or sub to the channel and give out gift subs, you know? So we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am very, very tired, but I am looking forward to this weekend.
Last words, Ari.
We had Friday the 13th, Pi Day, The Eyes of March, and Stone Cold Day all in a row. That was pretty fun.
That was redemption, yeah. Last words, Barry.
I get ice cream now! Yay! Nom, nom.
Yay!
What kind?
Yay.
What flavor?
It's salted caramel, but I'm gonna add some pistachios, and I have some banana from our crepes from earlier, so I'm gonna make it pistachio banana salted caramel.
Nice.
My last words is I'm really hyped for the con. My Kunzite costume arrived on Saturday, and it fits like a glove. So
Let's go.
Yeah.
You guys have to get one of the banana. Bacon, maple.
We will.
Bacon donuts.
Yes, we will. So I'm looking forward to wearing that with my friend as we do Kunzite and Princess Venus at the formal. So she's making my Kunzite wig as my Christmas gift. I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
Aw, that's sweet.
I'm just more happier that I slimmed down enough to wear a 2X costume right out of Japan, right out of China. Okay. All right. That is it. End of list. We're getting out of here. We'll be back next week with our ZenkaiCon convention report. So I'm Ranma.
I'm Ari.
I'm Mako-chan.
And I'm Barry Mellon.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Barry.
Good night, Barry.
Perfect. Awesome. We are out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!